Namaskar and very good afternoon learners. Today I, Dr. Renu Tomar, is going to continue talking about blended learning. If you remember, in our last lecture, that is the beginning lecture, lecture number 1, in which we started discussing blended learning, the new normal, in that we began with certain questions to ponder. The questions to ponder on which we were talking about was that how blended learning is different from the physical teaching, how is it different from online teaching. We also decided to talk about that whether face-to-face learning environment and online learning environment, how they are to be blended. Another question which we had taken up in our beginning of the lecture was that how can the blended learning be blended as to provide the best of both the worlds, and what could make blended learning the worst of both worlds. So friends, in this lecture we shall be talking about in what ways can blended learning be considered the best of both the worlds, as well as what could make blended learning the worst of both the worlds. If you remember, we talked about the advantages of blended learning as well as how is it different from online enhancement or the physical learning. Just to recap the previous two lectures, I will just give you a brief idea about the blended learning, particularly to those learners who have joined us in today's lecture only. So friends, blended learning, as the word itself suggests, it is blend of physical teaching and blend of technological teaching. But can we take blended learning as a student learning through computer? No, definitely not. Because computer, as far as in the blended learning is concerned, is just a tool, and that has to be managed, utilized to the best of the information of the teacher, the best of her capability, in such a manner that the learning is enhanced. So friends, taking up from what we had discussed in our previous two lectures, we should be again talking about that how blended learning is to be taken up so that it remains an advantage. What can make it a worst of both the worlds? So stressing upon this question, we will try to answer that why blended learning is supposed to be the best of both the worlds, and what kind of disadvantages are to be kept in mind by the teacher while taking up blended learning. So friends, as we discussed, blended learning is neither data collection, neither just sharing of information online or online assessment, rather it is more than that. It is, and that is why in the case of blended learning, the teacher needs to be critical thinking, because it is the decision of the teacher, it is the capability of the teacher, it is critical thinking of the teacher which shall decide that how the blended learning would be more influential in learning. Friends, we should also be talking about certain models which we would be discussing in today's lecture. But before that, let us talk about the disadvantages which have to be kept in mind as to control them so that it remains best of both the world. Both the world means both technical world as well as the physical world. So if the blended learning is not planned well, it can have many disadvantages. Particularly, it can become a disadvantageous if we stress upon the technical aspects more. If there is strong dependence on the technical resources and it is not being utilized simply as a tool, then the blended learning will fail. Because friend, we have to be aware of the fact that blended learning is not online transmission of lecture or online transmission of information or online assessment. It is more than that, and here the computer or the software is nothing more than the tool. It is very important that the tool which we are talking about, they are reliable. The tool, that means the software, the tool, that means the computers. They are reliable, they are easy to use by the students and should be up to date. Only then we can have an impact on the learning. Just to give an example, if the computer which has been given to the student is say 15 years old or 20 years old, then naturally the student will not be able to access the information which is being transmitted to him by the different sources, because of the fact that the tool is not competent, particularly in the case of a data assessment, because data assessment usually requires an updated version of the computer of the machine. Secondly, the student as well as the teacher should be IT literate. If the teacher is not literate, teacher doesn't know how to utilize the IT, the technology which is available to him or her, and the students are not aware that what kind of information they can access to by using the IT, then naturally the course material will be wasted, or the students will not be able to utilize, or the students will not be able to have the support from the teacher. So, it is very much important that IT literacy is there in case of both students and teacher. Thirdly, the blended learning has to be taken as a challenge, and usually it is seen that if you want to utilize blended learning, then the group work is taken to be the most advantageous way as to teach. But the most important aspect is, whenever the group work is there, it is advantageous if the group can be managed well by the teacher, particularly in the online setting. If the teacher fails to manage the group work, then naturally the problems will crop up. To give you an example from the scenario which we are observing nowadays, teachers are conducting online lectures, students are going online, and the messages are being forwarded to them through WhatsApp chat. Because the students are there on the WhatsApp chat, it is often observed that the teacher is conducting a class online for the students, while the students are chatting on the WhatsApp, doing all kind of gossiping, wasting their time, as well as the teacher is also being wasted, the resource is also wasted. So, it is very much relevant and important that teacher is able to take control of the students and he or she is able to manage the online setting well. Another important aspect which has been seen particularly in the blending learning is that whenever the lectures which are recorded, if that technology is not good, the lecture which has been recorded, it's not providing the kind of a benefit it is supposed to provide to the students, then naturally again those lectures will be wasted, that resource will be wasted. And another important aspect is that apart from having a good material available, good recorded lecture available, we also need to ensure that all the students watch the lectures on regular basis, and that has to be monitored by the teacher. Educator has to see that the lectures are seen by the students, and they are able to monitor that. Either it can be monitored through assessment, or it can be monitored through sharing the screen as well as watching the child live. So, it is very much relevant that particularly whenever the online resources are being shared, that teacher is able to not just monitor but also able to control the students, because students being away from the teacher, then naturally the control mechanism becomes very difficult, and there are also many more diversions. As I gave you the example of the WhatsApp chat, that the students will be engaged in the WhatsApp chat while teacher is teaching on screen. So, this is something which as a teacher we need to control. Another important aspect which is seen, that usually in the blended learning there has been observation worldwide that whenever more technology was used and it was used improperly, without having any control mechanism, no proper assessment management, and the lack of insight of the teacher as far as the IT proficiency is concerned or IT learning is concerned, that has usually resulted in lesser pass percentage of the students, because the students, rather than getting benefited from those information, those resources, they in fact end up wasting their time or ending up confused. So, blended learning is a very responsible task from the educator's perspective. It has to be seen that educator takes effective feedback, and usually taking feedback is more time consuming than monitoring the classes. So, in case of blended learning, because of the technology involved, it becomes very, very important that there is effective feedback mechanism, because usually in the class teacher is able to monitor as well as have the direct feedback from the students by asking, by observing them. But in the case of online, there has to be provisions developed by the concerned teacher looking at her subject, the difficulty level, the situation, the learning level of the students and the interest of the student in that particular topic. So, keeping all these variables in mind, teacher has to develop effective feedback, and of course, as we discussed, that it is more time consuming. Moreover, whenever we talk about e-learning platform, then usually it is seen that it is more time consuming. Reason being that in the traditional methods, the teacher has got more openness to change from one way to the another, one teaching method to another method, from one teaching approach to another teaching approach. But in the case of an e-learning platform, the teacher cannot change anything in between. So, it is very important that the e-learning platform which is being developed for helping the teacher who will be teaching the child physically also, that has to be utilized and developed in such a manner that it remains not just of importance to everybody, but also of interest to everybody. And apart from that, also we need to ensure that all the students are able to avail that opportunity, because friends, it is now being observed during the class that students come out after 10 minutes or 15 minutes. There are messages popping up on the WhatsApp chat and the students saying that because of the network issue, they are not able to see the teacher, they are not able to participate in the lecture. So, these are the issues which are very much important and they have to be kept in mind. The service provider has to be kept in loop. I do not know how, but it is very much important that it is ensured that during the class or during the share of resources, the e-platform does not give up, it is retained. Otherwise, there will be more of time wastage as well as the blended learning will end up as a not as it is expected to be, it is expected to be a cheaper version, but it will end up as a costly version. Another important issue which we have discussed is network infrastructure. So, it is very much important that the internet becomes much more pervasive and it is available to all the students as well as of course teacher. That is why when blended learning was introduced in the West, blended learning was introduced in the school itself, in the classroom itself. It was not introduced by letting the student go home. And if it was used, then it was used in a flipped model. In that flipped model, what was done was that the student could watch certain videos at home, and based upon those videos, students had to do home task at home, at classroom. So, in the classroom, they were doing something which they were supposed to do back home, and back home they were doing something which they were supposed to do in the classroom. So, that way by flipping the learning, the blended learning gave better results as far as learning of the students is concerned. Another important aspect whenever we talk about blended learning is that the teaching strategies, the learning strategies are also to be kept in mind, and they should be coming up with the pedagogical strategies. So, pedagogical strategies, the situation, the network issues, the learning strategies, the difficulty level of the students, the level of the resource, the interest of the resource, and making things more transmittable as far as information is concerned. All these things come up to be very important factors when we talk about blended learning. Now, let us talk about what kind of blended learning models exist. The first model which I shall be discussing with you, and it is supposed to be quite old version as well, station rotation blending. As the name suggests, station rotation blended, that means there are going to be few stations, and those stations will be rotated in such a manner that blended learning comes up. So, to understand it, this model means, and this is most common in the elementary school, that the teacher shall be creating groups of students, and groups of students shall be created in such a manner that one group will be working on the computer, another group will be being taught by the teacher, and there would also be a group which will be doing self study from the information or from the book. And these groups, or we can say these stations, will be rotated in such a manner that all the three groups or all the students present in the class are able to benefit from the learning of one station. That means, just to elaborate further, like there is a group which is doing which is working on computers on particular aspect. So, they are deriving certain information, placing them, presenting them in the class. That is why the others will be able to benefit from that group which is working on the computer. Similarly, there is a group which is interacting with the teacher, learning, and that learning will be shared with the other group which was working on a computer or doing some self study. So, this, as the word itself states, station rotation blended learning, that means the stations will be rotated in such a manner that the learning of each station is blended. So, this model, as I already stated, is most common in the elementary school, because the teacher is familiar with rotating the centers also and stations also. Another important or another well known model of blended learning is lab rotation blended learning. Lab rotation blended learning, as it states, is the students are going to work in the lab. Because the students will be working in a lab, they will be rotating through the station, but in a fixed schedule, that is in the dedicated computer lab only. So, the student on particular computer, if he or she has learned something, friends, this lab rotation blended learning has come from the fact previously we had only lab blended learning, in that the students were centered in the lab, but they were not the mobility was not possible because of the kind of a sitting which was provided in the lab. Then it was decided then that rather than having a fixed lab, computer lab, we can have a kind of a laboratory which is more open, and there can be more of a mobility as well as transmission of information and communication of information by one group of student to another group of student. So, here the station rotation will be there in the case of lab rotation, but the center rotation will not be there, because in the first model what was happening was that the center, that is teacher, was also rotating from one station to the another. Here the stations shall be rotating, students shall be learning on their own and sharing it on the basis, and the teacher will be adding to it. So, it is going to happen in the dedicated computer lab only. For this, the school's computer lab can be used, the college computer labs can be used, and it is of course similar to the station rotation blended, but it is characterized by laboratory in such a manner that here the more emphasis is on the machine learning by utilizing the machine, that is utility of the tool is enhanced in case of this particular model. Then the third model which we should be discussing is remote blended learning. Remote blended learning, which is also referred to as enriched virtual learning. Enriched virtual learning, as the word itself states here, the virtual space shall be used. The student focus will be on completing the online coursework, while during the meeting with the teacher, the student shall be discussing only the problems. So, it is similar to the kind of a model which we discussed, in which the home task was given that the student has to watch certain videos, and on that basis they were provided some kind of a home task, and if they faced any difficulty while doing that home task, then they could approach the teacher. It is more or less like flipped learning, but it is different from the flipped learning in such a manner that here the balance of online to face instructional learning is maintained in such a manner in case of enriched virtual blended learning, that the students wouldn't be able to see or work or learn with the teacher on a daily basis. As in the case of a flipped learning, what was happening, that the student was provided home task. In the home task, student had to view certain videos, and on those basis of those videos, students were asked certain questions in the class, and they had to answer those questions. So, that was flipped learning. So, it was daily basis, but in case of enriched virtual blended learning, it is not daily basis. It will happen only if the student is facing certain problem. So, if we talk from the point of view of the division of physical presence and division of online or the technological learning, then in this case, as the word itself states, it is enriched virtual learning. So, virtual learning is more, there is more emphasis on virtual learning, there is more emphasis on remote blended learning. Now, the fourth model which we shall be talking about is the flex blended learning. What is flex blended learning? Flex blended learning means a course or a subject in which online learning is the backbone of the student learning, and the student moves individually, and the resource material, the information is in fact, because it is flex, that means flexible for each student. So, it is responsibility of the teacher that the information is customized, the learning of the student is customized, and there is fluid schedule among the learning modalities. To elaborate further, let us try to understand it this manner, that the student will be provided some kind of information. That information is at the basic level, let us name it as A. At A level, the certain information, the resources, the home task, the assessment is taken. It is seen that out of 10, 2 students are able to move further. They will be given certain information, task or learning of the difficulty level. They will move from A to B, but those who are at A and those who have not been able to pass it, they will be allowed to take some more time, and apart from that they would also be provided some more resources to strengthen them, or they might also be provided some kind of classes. The teachers may be providing them more information or the classroom teaching. They can be asked to come and be taught in the class in the presence of the teacher, or the teacher can be giving them more time on online individually. So, here the teacher is moving for the student individually. That is why it is called flex blended learning. Friends, we shall be continuing with the other models as well. I shall be joining you on the fourth part of the series of blended learning, the new normal. Namaskar. Have a good day.